Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Not Family Feud. We are back for TCR, and I mean, we've got a good game show for you tonight. If you like watching cars going around a track, I mean, that's a pretty good game if I can ever see one. We are back, round 10 out of 12, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, one of the fastest tracks on the F1 calendar. 27 corners and 8 drivers tonight looking for one trophy. My name is Camden Luca, per usual, in the booth, and you know, this afternoon I was walking around in the woods because I haven't done that since round 2. And when I was walking around the woods, I was like, oh yeah, like I remember last time I was here, I got that creature, put him in the broadcast booth, and then I dumped him out at the end of the race. Well, that creature was sitting there in the woods again, and I have got him back in the broadcast booth tonight. That creature would be none other than 3-time TCR champion, Mr. Seafreeze. How does it feel to be in a nice, warm broadcast booth?
I don't know. I've never felt that this season yet. Yo, it is Seafreeze here, and now I know why the reason I haven't shown up since round 2. I'll see you all next season on the grid. I am looking for a teammate, so yeah, let that be known. Yeah, and we will have Seafreeze for a little bit tonight, a small portion of the broadcast, and then he will be going back to the jungle or wherever he needs to be. But yeah, season 20 next season, going to be a big season, and it's going to be here sooner than we know because we're almost at the end of season 19. Yeah, and we got some new game information so far, release dates. Hopefully we'll see more features soon, and what that'll do for us, in the next season on the new game, which will be season 20. So it's the exciting time of the year as we get that new game information.
Jose is going to be the first one to the line, a 128.119, which is about a second and a half off of the TCR qualifying lap record. And I bring that up because we have had a lot of records get broken this season, and maybe this could be another race where that happens. But it looks like B-Tom is going to cross the line. I don't think this is going to be a record because he just put in that lap on the inners with a 131 flat. Yeah, I don't think that's the strategy for tonight. I don't know if you disagree with me, Seafreeze. The track's looking pretty dry right now.
Yeah, and I was just, checking, make sure my audio and mic is working. Nonetheless, we got upgrades on the way, so I'm excited to debut those on the broadcast side, podcasting side, which we've had some new episodes come out. So I appreciate everyone tuning in for those. But yeah, a nice dry qualifying session here, and I've seen that we might be in for a crazy race with possible rain, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually.
Oh my goodness!
That, so we'll see. I'm just looking at the Discord here. It could be It could be a wild one.
I'm looking at what you're looking at. Yeah, it looks like we could get some rain here in Saudi Arabia. Well, I hope the people here don't melt because I'm not sure if they've ever seen a raindrop in their life.
Yeah, and if they do, they might. There's a couple ways you can react. I mean, you could get scared, run away, or you can, have a little rain dance party in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
Whichever you prefer.
Get out the umbrellas, get out the rain boots, and do your best YMCA.
It's a great song.
I remember we used that for a short. It was Kaluka who was stuck in the track, and it looked like he was doing the YMCA, doing a little boogie out in turn 1.
Yeah.
But J&B, first one in the 127s, and he is responding well after his disappointing race last week. He was running well, and then towards the end, he ended up crashing out. I did hear, though, that he does have a finger injury, so that definitely is not going to help you behind the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, you have to show up regardless, and it's kind of funny. You might say a finger injury, but when, you know, you're either dealing with, I know J&B's on a wheel, but even for controller players as well. I mean, if you cut up your hand and it's in a bad spot, it could definitely impact you. But definitely on a wheel if you gotta grip it, you know, through the force feedback side of it. So
I remember, yeah, back when I was racing on controller, there was this pretty bad thumb injury I had that summer. And luckily, we were off for TCR, because if we weren't, I would have had to have been out for a few weeks, because I basically cut off the end of my thumb. And it was my left thumb, which is, if you race on controller, you know that is your steering thumb. So I was pretty lucky, because that was during the time of like season 14, season 15, when I was fighting for silver class championships. So yeah, I do not recommend cutting the end of your thumb off. It doesn't feel very good.
Or either your arm, in my case.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had your arm injury.
Yeah. So make sure you keep all your wounds intact, because you're gonna need them when you're racing.
Absolutely.
But I do want to say, it's even though we have an 8-person grid today, we have a lot of like the heavy hitters here tonight, and I think they're all actually quite evenly paced, and with the DRS train that we have at you know, Jeddah, it could lead into a nice race, even though we have low numbers. Although with the rain possible, you know, we'll have to see what that looks like. Could have some implications here. But Viton looks like he's starting a lap here, and he has a chance. I heard by none other than Mr. Cameron Luca that he has an opportunity to clinch the season 19 F1 Series championship. So that'll be kind of what we'll be looking at as we go through tonight. See if we can clinch yet another.
Yeah, and I think this is a good transition to go over the points now that you said that. B-Tom, top of the standings, 208 points, and he's on his flyer right now, headed through that left-hander there of turn 13. JMB in second place in points. He is at 145, which means that if B-Tom finishes on the podium tonight, he's got it. He's got his 7th TCR championship, which ties his favorite F1 driver, Lewis Hamilton. Behind them, though, there is still a battle, and there's actually a really good battle for third in points. GTR Lion, 102 points. Jose, 91. And Sir Charles, 85. That is a good little freeway that's happening there.
Oh, here we go.
Whoa.
Yeah,
hold the pause button.
Right, I mean, with Beaton here, yeah, I mean, if he's able to get to the podium, which is a pretty easier task to do once you go provisional pole like that, by a 10th over JMB. You know, he could definitely get that 7th championship, and you know, that's kind of remarkable that we have a driver up that many, which is so cool for us. I think that you know, it's cool having drivers, you know, reach you know, a high stat that we, you know, keep track of, and we'll kind of monitor that as we go. But J&B, a really quick shout out, regardless of how it ends, he's shown that he's a top contender in the series now, because he you know, came back and he had some good speed, he won some races, and he's right up there in P2, so you know, that's good for J&B.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you just look at the raw pace, it's pretty clear that he is up there with the fastest drivers in TCR. And I think if he just gets some more experience, because you got to remember, he is probably the youngest driver on this grid by a good margin. So if he just gets more experience, gets more consistent, then I think he could definitely be in the fight for the Season 20 championship.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the other guys that are on the grid, you know, I mean, even look at B-Tom now. I mean, B-Tom's been here for a long time, lots of wins and championships, you know, alongside with GT and Sir Charles Jose and, you know, Capitan, you know, going back a few years. Oh, J&B, as I looking at him, hit the wall, and he is out of qualifying. He's got the front left tire spinning up on his car there. He just missed the turn-in point, and I think he might have turned in a little too aggressively or too much and clipped that inside wall there.
Wow.
And he is out.
Wow. And that is a point of this track that we're going to have to look at tonight as Lion puts in his lap without any error. But yeah, that is turn 4, and that left-hander there, so easy to clip that wall. And if you do, sorry buddy, but you're going to have to pack it up and go home, because that will be the end of the year race. And we're actually going to look at Lion here as he enters that corner. And yeah, you saw, I mean, I know he's not on a flyer, but he was giving a little social distancing to that wall.
Yeah, I mean, some of the curbs here as well as GT is cutting the track to get to either his, probably back into the pits to get another run in.
Which is legal.
Right, absolutely.
There's some leads where I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're all trying to get laps in at the end of the day, you know, so let people get their laps in, and as long as you're not impeding anyone, you know, and it's tarmac, you know, go over the tarmac. As long as you don't take out them braking boards.
I do want to point out that B-Tom has a 27.7, which is almost a second off of the TCR qualifying lap record. Do you have an idea as to who holds that record?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Oh. Why don't you share for us who it is?
It is none other than Vehicle Biggle.
From season 13. You remember that race, right?
I do. Actually, now looking back at it, it's a good one.
Well, you know, I know you didn't have a good end to that race, so just because of that, you know, we'll play that in your honor. And B-Tom's honor, too.
Yeah. I mean, he's the one who started it, so he could be the one to end it here tonight, so that's all in the past.
6 seasons later, and you guys are still debating on who caused that.
I'm not debating, I know.
Oh, you know, yeah, you're certain.
Yeah.
You have the transcripts. You know what happened.
Oh, yeah. I got it on footage. Although, coming down to 2.5 minutes left in the quali, the only one really who looks to contend at the moment, at least based off of their previous laps, is probably Jose, and that's if he puts the absolute lap together to gain himself a little over 3/10, closer to 4. So we'll see if he, or maybe anyone else, you know, can get up there, or at least up on that front row now that J&B cannot get another lap in.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Jose is going to have to get out pretty soon because there's only 2 minutes left in qualifying, and B-Tom is actually about to wrap up his final lap here. And we're going to see what he can do as he makes his way into turn 27, which is the final corner. And this one is not the easiest of corners, and he gets through there pretty smoothly, maybe a bit of a wiggle, but nonetheless. To the line, I think this could be an improvement.
Yeah, he was up a 10th, and it goes to 3/10, a 0.3, which is, woo, a nice lap.
Pretty good.
There. Yeah. Pretty good.
Oh, and Capitan, I think he is about to start his first lap, and he really will be the first one of this group of people that start their laps, because if you look at the leaderboard, outlap, 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 everybody is wanting to get a lap in. You know, it's like the popsicle stand on a hot day, you know, everybody wants some.
But not everyone's gonna get one.
Exactly. Yep. And in this case, you know, I don't know if you want to have a popsicle right now, Seafreeze, because I heard it's going to be raining here in a few minutes.
No, I would not want that right now. But I will take a coffee if anyone wants.
Yep. Seafreeze and his coffee. You know, we should make merch. We should make like a Seafreeze coffee reference, and we should put it on a t-shirt.
Well, we used to make merch, although
I know.
If if we want to bring it back and it's in high demand, if we have any suggestions, put it in our Discord, and maybe we'll get some merch back.
6 seconds left in qualifying. Capitan is going to be one of the first people here to finish up qualifying for himself. And you see the time has expired. He's going to make his way into the final corner here. Rebel ahead of him is invalid, so he will not improve. B-Tom done for qualifying. Let's see if Capitan can beat him. To the line, he goes up to P4, a 28.5. Charles, he's up by a couple tenths here. You know, he could leapfrog Capitan, and no. Look at that separation from 4th through 6th. That's, you could take a pillow over all three of those guys and smother them. That's how close they are. I wouldn't recommend doing that, though.
With Just Jose coming through the sector 2. Let's see what his sector split is here. If he can challenge for pole. Coming through here, he's up 2.5 tenths. He's going to find out need a lot more, which I'm not sure if he's going to have. There's really only straightaways left.
You look at the battery too, Seafreeze, at 11%. Not much he can use on the front stretch.
Yeah. And I think this might be good enough to at least get the front row, get in front of J and B, give him a good shot in the race. And it is...
I don't think it was.
No, not enough. So, that battery, I think, probably would have costed him if his previous lap used a bunch of battery, and it was enough to get into a 27, but only a 0.9. Not good enough.
B-Tom is going to start on pole position, with J and B second, and we'll see where his pace is at, because we saw that crash, and I don't know, though. I'm a little worried that he had his crash last week, had one this week, and like I said before, he is dealing with an injury. So if this were blackjack, I don't know if I would put all my chips in at J&B's table.
Although, you know what, sometimes when you are kind of hurting, the adrenaline kind of kicks in, and it could actually... No, I'm serious, and it could actually put you in that focus mode for some.
Yeah, but it is raining. You see the raindrops here in Saudi Arabia, and I hope that nobody drowns, because like I said, I don't think that we've ever seen raindrops here before. And we are about to get ready to pick our podium drivers. Are you ready for this? That's the question. You know what? I'll let you go first, Seafreeze. I'll give the creature the first grab.
Well, I think this is an easy pick. I think you got to go with the pole sitter, B-Tom. I think he's going to clinch his 7th World Championship in TCR, and he's going to ride into the sunset with a soaking wetsuit due to the rain. I think P2 will be we'll go with Just Jose for P2. And P3, we will do Sir Charles.
So I've got a really bad history of picking people in general, but Charles in particular, I've noticed he tends to bite the bullet whenever I pick him. So we're going to leave him off the table for now. I'm not putting any chips over at his table. I'm going to go B-Tom as well, and it looks like we're about to go. So I'm going to go B-Tom. I'll go J and B, and then I think Lion will get up there. Let's put Lion on the podium. But we're about to go. We got 5 lights on the grid. It's raining, and we're going to go racing. It's time to go, go, go. In Saudi Arabia, off the line, B-Tom on those intermediates gets ahead of J&B into turn 1. J&B's got Jose cleared, it looks like, and they're side by side here. Oh, a bit of contact. Lion getting the elbows out ahead of Mahmood, and that was a relatively clean start. Let's see if they make it through turn 4.
All so far so good. All single filing out, but nothing yet to note here.
Yeah, these drivers at the back really struggling. Charles had a big moment there through turn 4. He's trying to just get through these technical corners there, slipping and sliding. He's lost about 8/10 there to Lion, but at the front, boy, B-Tom already a second out. This is if he can get away, this could be an easy race. But P7, Mahmood down to last. We take a look at our positions gained and lost. Mahmood down 2 spots, Rebel up 1, Charles up 1, and a partridge in a pear tree.
And I wonder how these drivers will fare in the dirty air and the slipstream, and how their setups are going to affect us. Just Jose gave that good old wall a smack out through that chicane, the high fast chicane. So and as soon as I picked him, I looked in the Discord, and he says he's either winning or he's going to be in a barrier. So well, I didn't pick him, so one is not going to be right at the end of the night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you picked him. You didn't pick him for the win, so either way, I guess you're going to be wrong.
Yeah, but you know, I guess that Ferrari could do something for me.
Yeah, it's about time it could do something for anyone. My God, like, not been a good start for Ferrari on the F1 side of things. The TCR side of things going a little bit better, I think. But yeah, B-Tom, 1.3 seconds right now as we take a look at our possible race strategies, and it looks like the weatherman is giving us intermediates the whole race.
Wow. Yeah, it's not a race I would have expected, and you know what? I was planning on actually racing here tonight. At first I couldn't, and I'm glad actually. Because I wouldn't want to do intermediates around this track, because it's a lot of high speed, right? So you're not really doing much, and I mean, apart from the middle speed, I guess, and just slipping and sliding. But I like certain tracks where you have more like the middle to lower traction zones, than more like a higher speed straight line track like this. Plus, it's a little unrealistic for this to be happening in Saudi Arabia. So
right?
I'm not sure, you know, about that one, if that all checks out, but, you know, I guess it could rain in the desert? I don't know.
Sure. Why not? It's Codemasters. I'm really surprised they haven't added a tornado feature yet. That would be cool, right? Oh, yeah, and into the air goes Seafreeze.
Right. no, there are tornadoes. It's called all their glitches.
Yeah. Yep. The wild EA tornado featuring Codemasters. That would be quite a lineup if Codemasters and EA dropped a track. You know, what would it sound like?
Oh, I couldn't. That's not up to me.
It would sound like a bunch of clanging noises. Like you got the crash cymbal, you got the tambourine, you got someone, you know, like a rock star, like smashing the guitar. That's what it would sound like, right? Whoa, look at this camera shot. The rain going sideways, helicopter shot up on top of
cool
GTR
one.
Lion.
I saw that.
Cameraman,
Yeah,
I
as
hope
you
you
can
don't
see,
fall out of the helicopter here. It's a little
As
windy.
you can see, the wind is really heavy up here.
Oh.
As we go back to the camera, take it back, Camden.
Well, the cameraman, he jumped off the helicopter, it looks like, because we're back at our normal camera angle. They like to do that. As soon as we're getting good shots in, they like to jump off the helicopter and go back onto the ground.
Well, listen, I'm glad I was able to get in here for a few minutes and join the broadcast and tune in to another round of TCR. But I do have to cut out here, so I'll hand over all of the proceedings to Mr. Camden Luca himself. I just want to say good luck to B-Tom and J&B and the rest of the competitors out there, and I'll be watching in the car on the live stream. So
do you need a GPS to get back to the jungle?
there's no internet out here.
All right, yeah, glad to have you here, Seafreeze, and yeah, come back anytime.
All right, good night, guys.
See ya. All right. So, this back half of the grid looking pretty condensed right now. You got Lion P4, Capitan, Charles, Rebel. They're kind of having a slumber party here in the back. And Mahmood, he a little far back right now from Rebel. Still within reaching distance, but he's going to have to reach a little bit further if he wants to get up there and play with the big boys. I didn't put Charles on my podium, right? Because, like I said earlier, whenever I put him on my podium, things tend to not go well, but it looks like he's going to get a spot here on Capitan possibly. He's really trying to get by him here, burning all the battery, and I think Capitan might just let him have it. And both of them were draining the battery, trying to make something work, and Charles is going to slide his way into P5. As he goes through turns 1, 2, and 3. Those are 3 corners right there, actually. We watched turn 4. You saw Capitan and looked like he was definitely a little safe there, trying to get Rebel through turn 4. Definitely a little conservative there, getting into turn 4. But at the front, though, you're really not missing much. B-Tom's got a 2.5 second lead, and he is looking to get that 7th championship and get closer to win number 50. Man, that camera shot is really cool. That is turn 17 right there that these drivers are going through. Let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. That's one of the best camera shots at this track, actually. A lot of them are really good because this track is really low to the ground. It's a street circuit, obviously, so a lot of the camera shots really close to the ground as we watch them head through turn 24 right there. And Saudi Arabia, known for the low battery, and even in these rainy conditions, you notice that Lion, the king of the battery, he's got 38%. So if this were his phone, he wouldn't need to charge it yet, but he would definitely need to well, now he's going to have to charge it. Oof, man, that thing is... You know on the iPhone how when you have a low battery, it gets red? He's got a red battery right now. He's got 16% on the battery. Now, Charles got a little bit more than him. I think Charles was maybe being a little conservative there at the start, and he's playing his cards pretty well here to try and get ahead of the king of the jungle, the Lion, up into P4. And like I said at the top of the show, that is a battle in points. But he is 17 back of Lions. Lion's got 102, and Charles has 85. So Charles is going to need to, if he wants to get third in points, he's going to need to get by him this race, I think. I don't think he can afford Oh, in the wall a bit there. Nonetheless, keeps the car straight. But that Constructors battle not in play. McLaren has won the Constructors Championship with 3 races to go. I mean, that is just a statement and a half. It's like that meme, you know, that Simpsons meme where they're kicking the guy to the ground, you know. Stop, he's already dead. That's definitely the Constructors battle in a nutshell this season. But in the midfield, though, for Constructors, a lot of stuff happening. You got Ferrari, Mercedes, and Alpine within 7 points of each other. So there's still quite a battle here up for grabs as, man, you look at those lap times, they're getting quicker, and you notice the raindrops, they're getting smaller. I think Jose is just waiting for an opportunity. I think he's faster than JMB is right now. But we look at Charles, he gets by a line for that spot. And now, though, I'm really curious as to what this pace is going to be like, because the weatherman said it was going to be inners all the way. I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be dry here pretty shortly. And you look at the screen now, there are no raindrops. So now we're back to realistic Saudi Arabia weather here. I hope the fans in the stands were all right. You know, they were probably like, "Oh my gosh, am I going to drown? This is a lot of rain." But they'll be all right. I wish Seafreeze stuck around for a few more minutes, because there's a story. Him and I went to an SRX race, a Superstar Racing Experience race. And it rained at the end of the race, and we all had to go and dart to our cars because it was downpouring, lightning. It was crazy. Maybe we'll drag him out of the jungle next week to tell that story. That whole week was kind of nuts too, because there was rain at New Hampshire that week for the NASCAR race. It was nuts. I think JMB is holding on as best as he can here, but we could be getting some dry weather pit stops here as everyone in the pits and nobody speeds. Here comes B-Tom putting on the hards. Maybe a little bit quicker than I was expecting, because, you know, this game is realistic to an extent. You know, the track does have to dry, but we're going to see what these guys do. Jose puts on the mediums. That's a bit of a gamble there, but, you know, I'm not surprised that Jose, of all people, is... Oh, and JMB gets a time penalty. He went off the course right there. Oh, JMB. It took until lap 8 to do this, but I have to do this once the YouTube police gets their pennies off of me. I'll be able to... Yeah, they're really giving me a 15-second ad for this little 30-second clip. Really, man? JMB, though, the YouTube police are away. The real police are here to get you for cutting the track. Oh, and he almost put it in the wall. Oh, and Jose almost put it in the wall. Oh, my goodness. These guys are dirt tracking it here, trying to get adjusted. It might not be completely dry yet. And I noticed that Mahmoud stayed out. And Rebel, he put on inners. Not sure if he meant to do that. But, though, I mean, you notice, I don't think he's really, Hey, Eric Robert, can you go and put your username in again? The user didn't come up on the screen. If you want to join our Discord is on our website. You can go to trinitycompetitiveracingnetlifi.app, and the link to that is on the YouTube side of things too, and I think it's in the Twitch bio as well. But our Discord is on our website if you want to join TCR through there. But we did see Lion overtake Capitan, Mahmoud in the pits, and Rebel. That's a shame. I noticed, though, he was keeping up that lap there with everyone else on the slick tires, but I think that would have been very short-lived for him. But JMB down on the 8 ball right now. He's got the penalty, but he's going to try to go side by side with Jose. Not much grip up there on the high side of the track there in turn 13, and he is struggling to keep that car on the track. He falls down to P3. And I think Seafreeze might be getting this podium prediction right as of now, because we got B-Tom, Jose, and JMB in the podium right now. This is going to end... Oh, it's not going to end. You know, a lot of the times... Oh, and by the way, you guys, I just got to mention, look at this view. You got the yachts there on the water. You got the festival on the right-hand side. That's good stuff. But, yeah, no, the helicopter man, sometimes he likes to cut out on us right as we go through turn 22, I think that is. Yeah, that left-hander, turn 22. He likes to cut out sometimes, but sometimes he stays with it. So, you never know. You never know if it's apples or oranges for him. But, and this is the closest battle on track we have right now, and J&B is giving a little something to Jose here, trying to find a way by. I think J&B, yeah, it's really hard to not hit that wall there in turn 4. He already did it in qualifying, and I'm sure he's going to make sure not to do it again in that corner. And I think Capitan is headed through that same corner as well. And Capitan has a shot here at moving up a spot in points. He is 10 points behind Remsley and 14 points behind 8th in points. So give it maybe a race or two, and Capitan could be up in 8th in points, which, considering he's only been here for half the season, that's not too shabby. And I put Lion on my podium prediction, and, you know, maybe he'll get up there, because he's only a couple seconds behind Charles, and you never know if J&B will get another penalty, so it's not over until the fat lady sings, you know? I don't know who that fat lady is, but if she sings, then you know the party's over and it's time to pack it up. Fastest lap, J&B, and now Jose putting up a 35. I've been saying that we've been breaking a lot of track records this season for both qualifying and the race, but the TCR race record is a 129. So I don't think we're getting there tonight with these conditions and with these tires that they have on. And it was STX that put up that record back in season 13. And that is a classic, by the way. Season 13 Platinum class here in Saudi Arabia. Go and check that out in your free time. That is one of the classic races. I'm sure Seafreeze doesn't want to tell you about the end of that race, but same with B-Tom. And you know, B-Tom looking great. He's had a great race, but he's only got 4 seconds to Jose, and Jose's on the mediums. And Jose, I'm not surprised that he took the mediums, because Jose has been very vocal about how he thinks that the mediums and hards are pretty much even. And I think to an extent, I think he's right. But will they go 17 laps? Will they make it to the end? I'm not sure. But he is pulling away from J&B, so this is a good test then. If he's pulling away now, that tells me that they've got equal pace, and J&B almost threw it in the barrier. We'll see if J&B can catch up to him if these medium tires fall off towards the end. But the track is getting quicker, and I really like this track evolution tonight. This is actually pretty good, because these laps are slowly getting better by the lap, and that's what we want to see, you know. We don't want to see, you know, we don't want it to be the Wizard of Oz, right? Because 1 second you got this grim tornado scene, and then all of a sudden you got all these sunshine and rainbows, and it's like, if that happened in a TCR race, and there might be some ambulances that would need to get called, because there would be a couple of crashes. And speaking of a crash, Mahmoud has crashed out, and that is a safety car. And that is turn 4 once again. And we have our first safety car in weeks. And we're going to ride on board with Rebel here. I think he's going to have a good shot here. Well, yeah, you saw the tire tracks. He must have gotten that wall. And that changes everything. That really changes everything. And I think Jose might be in a great spot, actually. Because at this point, you definitely can take the mediums to the end. If you were to pit for fresh ones. And Jose's only got 4 laps on his mediums that he has. So I really think that this could be a good strategy, but we're going to have to take a look at B-Tom and see what he does here. If he comes into the pits, and yes he does. B-Tom into the pits. And I think he's going to put on the medium tires. Jose in the pits as well. What's he going to do here? Is he going to put on another set of mediums? Interesting. I don't disagree with that. That's probably the safe option, especially if everyone behind you is pitting. And JMB gets back into this as well, although, you know, he's got that penalty and that bunches everyone back up, so. Lion down to 18 miles an hour. He was making sure that he wouldn't speed. Let's take a look at this race coming out of the pits. It looks like Charles going to come out 4th. Capitan beats off Lion for that spot. Oh, and I think Lion might have had a wing change there. Yeah, he must have had some sort of a wing issue there. But because of that, here comes Rebel, and Rebel is going to stay out. I think Rebel's going to barely get him out of the pits here for that spot. Yeah, because if you look at the pit stops today, well, Rebel, no, he still has some mediums, so he could go and put on mediums. I think he should do that here if he wants to have a chance. I would recommend doing that. And I'm sure this is not what B-Tom was expecting, because he had a pretty good lead, and I have a feeling if he had a big lead at the finish that he was going to do some cool celebration to celebrate that 7th championship, but we'll see if he can still get that lead. Yeah, and that's a shame for Mahmoud there. That turn 4 will get you. I think that is maybe the hardest corner on this track and one of the hardest corners on the calendar. So, yeah, definitely not something to mess with, for sure. But, man, look at these. Look at that camera shot right there of those buildings surrounded by the water. That is just like paradise. That's perfect. I was mentioning before how SDX has the race lap record here. He is in a 12-way tie for 36th all-time on the TCR wins list. He's got 5 wins. He was no slouch back when he raced. But tied for 36th, though, that just shows you how competitive this league has always been, because I can even go up to JMB and Charles. They're in a tie right now for 13th all-time with yours truly, actually. And there's about 6 or 7 of us tied for 13th all-time. So, and if you go ahead of them, Lion and Remsley are in a tie with 10 wins apiece. So it's very competitive. This league has always been competitive, and yeah, we're entering season 20 next season. It's going to be a big season. I've got ideas. I'm sure Seafreeze has ideas, and I'm sure you guys have ideas. So if you guys got ideas, and if you're watching right now, feel free to leave some ideas in the comments, and we'll put some brain salad together, and we'll mix up our thoughts. I don't think that brain salad would taste any good, though. Don't take a spoon and dig into it. I'm not a doctor, but I would not recommend that. But I think we should be in a spot here to where we will go back green flag racing here pretty shortly, but the safety car, they love to do this last second thing. Yeah, final straightaway, they're going to come into the pits and take off, and you know that B-Tom is going to lead them down pretty slowly. He's already down to 45 miles an hour here. Oh my gosh, I mean, I've proposed a pit, like a pace speed minimum for these situations, because I mean, yeah, like, this is a little slow, but you know, the leader can do what he wants, and I think B-Tom is going to hit the gas and go. Not the worst restart for Jose. I've seen restarts where people get thrown off by that, and oh, look at this here. Rebel gonna take advantage of this and get by Lion, and he actually stayed out on those hard tires, and yeah, you're gonna have to get that spot back. But we're back underway. B-Tom, 6/10 ahead of Jose. J&B, though, right on Jose. Let's watch everybody as they go through turn 4. This treacherous corner. It's gotten one person today. Will it get another? And I think everyone's definitely a little cautious. I definitely saw some people look like intentionally missed the apex a little bit there just to be cautious. And whoa, over the curbs. You heard that. Like a skateboard, that thing rode the curbs there. It's so easy for the car to get upset there over those curbs. That is in Sector 2. That is turn 10. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of the corners at this track. I mean, you got... So it's so funny. You got 12 turns just in the first sector of the track. This track, it's insane how many corners are here. And honestly, you could probably cut out like 2 or 3 of them. But nonetheless, it looks like B-Tom hasn't pulled away just yet, and he has burned a good chunk of his battery, maybe trying to get away from Jose. And I do want to just point out that B-Tom didn't practice much before this race, and these are the first race laps he's doing in these conditions. So looks like Jose is doing everything he can here to just stay within DRS range, and really, you have this train of 4 that has stuck with the leader. And then you got Capitan, you got Lion, and you got Rebel. 5th, 6th, and 7th on the leaderboard. Purple sector there for J&B. He's looking thirsty here. He's wanting to get something. P2 up for grabs. He's got that penalty, though. I'm not sure if this is going to work out for him, unless if Jose gets one, which... And I do want to say, too, I'm not sure as to what the race director looks like, but... Okay, it looks like J&B does have 3 warnings. We did have a scenario with Rebel last week where the game gave him multiple warnings for one issue, and there's contact right there. So basically, Rebel, he cut the track once, and they gave him multiple warnings for that. So I was just checking to see if J&B had that same scenario, but it looked like that J&B's got 3 warnings fair and square. But for the lead, Jose is going to give it a shot here, and up in the P1, there's contact. J&B bumps the back of B-Tom there, and B-Tom's down in the P2. And I'm curious if B-Tom is struggling in these conditions right now, or if he's maybe being a little conservative, but nonetheless, Jose up in the lead, and we'll see if he can pull away. J&B on the back of B-Tom. He's going to peek to the outside here. Not much room for him to go as they head into turn 13. And we've seen this before with those two that have collided back in Japan a couple weeks ago. And boy, J&B is just, he wants to get by pronto. And I hope he's learned from a couple weeks ago, and I hope B-Tom's learned as well, because I think it was a mutual incident between those two back in Japan. Round 8, they got together. Will they get together here? They got to go side by side, and B-Tom gives way to JMB. Down into P3 he goes. B-Tom, though, gonna try to go to the left-hand side of him. There's not much room there. JMB not giving an inch. And they're going to go side by side. I think JMB, though, going to back off and maybe get some DRS off of B-Tom. And all this is doing is letting Jose pull away. And because of these two fighting, they have burned the battery. And Jose, not much battery as well, but he can breathe a little easy right now, I think. And we'll see how they fare through this treacherous turn 4. They make it out alive. J and B doing a good job here. Definitely fighting as hard as he can, but doing what he's got to do to try and get by. Technically, still his championship rival, and if things are the way that they are right now, B-Tom will win the championship, but not over. I think J&B knows that there is still a chance at this championship. He is just wheeling that thing, and behind them there's a battle going on. Not as fierce though. These guys are a little less aggressive, I feel like. Jose's got a handful of wins in TCR, looking for another one to add to his resume. I think J&B is going to try something here. My gosh, these three are all under a blanket here. There's contact. And that looked a little reminiscent of B-Tom's incident through there back in Season 13 with Seafreeze for the lead. B-Tom trying to go back around. Jose, there's contact there. They save it. And J&B to the inside, going for P2. There's contact. Oh, and they're in the wall. Oh my goodness. They both crashed for P2. Unbelievable. None of them were going to give that up. And what this has done is this has put Capitan up into P2. And that is just given the win to B-Tom at this point. But Charles is going to take advantage of this. He's like, thank you very much. I want this spot. Oh boy, that is just... Yeah, that's one way to lose the race, and I'm sure this will get taken to the stewards afterwards. Aggressive driving, and Jose's holding on with hot tires, trying to hang on to it. I think Jose, yeah, he's going to let Rebel go there. Capitan looking for his first podium in the top tier of TCR. Just like that, he is up in P2. Unbelievable, though. J&B and Jose getting together when it looked like they both had a shot at P1. And just like that, we have a battle for P2 between Charles and Capitan, and Charles goes up into P2. Yeah, I don't think I could have predicted this podium. Oh, and Jose, he is retiring in the pits. He's had enough. If I were him, I get it. I would be frustrated too, but he was close to the 90% range, so you could have at least gotten to the 90% range to get your points, but yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some chatter in the Discord after, and yeah, I already see some comments there. So, no shortage of fireworks here in Saudi Arabia, that's for sure, and that's what you get when you come to this track. High speeds, hard racing, lots of room for overtakes, and a lot of times, you know, some guys are just not willing to give up a spot, and we saw it here tonight. And we've seen it here more recently than not. It's been the last few weeks where things have gotten more competitive, I feel like. Getting to the end of the season, and these guys are going for every spot, and you see right here, Charles is going to, I think, take the veteran approach to that and try to get DRS, and he's going to maybe get Capitan here before the DRS line, and he's got it, looks like. Although it looks like Capitan, he's got some sporty straight line speed there, because he wasn't using any battery, and it's not like Charles was really pulling away at all. So with that being said, I'm actually really curious as to, I want to take a look at their pace here headed through this technical part of Sector 1. This looks like turns 5 through 12 right here. Yeah, and it looks like Charles does pull away ever so slightly, although Capitan is doing a good job here of hanging tough, regardless of whatever his wings may be at. And you know, that could be a question for the interviews actually afterwards. A bit of a kiss on the wall there from Charles. And you know what this does, though, is with Jose not finishing the race, this puts Charles right in the thick of the battle for third in points. And, you know, he was there. He's 17 behind Lion going into today, and he was 6 behind Jose. But what this will do is, this is going to leapfrog him plenty ahead of Jose. And with Lion down in P4, this is going to put Charles within 11 points of Lion. Although, take a look at this. With these two battling, I just want to mention that Lion is, he's catching up. He is right there, and he could be there sooner than later if these two keep leapfrogging each other, as Capitan back up in the P2. With just a few laps to go, B-Tom looking for championship number 7 and his 48th career win, with the possibility of getting up to 50 before the season's over. Folks, this is not over just yet for 50 wins for B-Tom. He could get up there. He's got to win out, though. He's got to be super consistent and win the rest of the races. And if he were to do that, what that would do is that would put B-Tom at 4 wins in a row to end the season. That is, I don't care who you are, that's going to be hard to do. Especially with the pace that we saw from J&B and Jose tonight. That's going to be hard to do. And I think that's going to give B-Tom some motivation. And I know he's always motivated to do these races, but when you wrap up the championship with 2 races to go, I think naturally you're going to have less urgency when you race. But no, he's got a record that he could go and get. He could extend his win record and go up to 50 if he wins out. So I think there's definitely still motivation for him to go and win the rest of these races and do it at the end of this season. I think he's definitely focused on that at this point. But 3 laps to go, and these guys back here are focused on a podium. Lion looking for back-to-back podiums after somehow going a lot of races without one. He is looking for back-to-back podiums. Charles looking for 3 podiums in a row, and as of now, he's looking for 3 third-place finishes in a row. Illuminati confirmed. So we look from the TV shot there, headed through that technical section of Sector 1, about to go through turn 13. This kind of long, sweeping left-hander, I like to call it. One of those corners, it's almost like a NASCAR corner in a way, to where you want to just kind of roll through the corner and then make your way back into the throttle and then jam the throttle once you get close to corner exit. So he is saving up that battery. He does not need to charge his phone if this were his phone. Capitan, his phone might need to get charged soon, I think. B-Tom, meanwhile, I think he's going for fastest lap. Going to add an extra point. Oh, he's so close. Yeah, he's got to go for this. He is so close. Oh, contact there out of the final corner. And you saw the hand go up. What the heck was that? And oh boy, oh, this could get spicy here. Not much room for Lion. He might have to bump draft Capitan into turn 1 there. And they're going to go side by side for that spot. Oh, Lion's not going to lift. That is close. And he's going to have to back out going through turn 4. Capitan, ooh, that went better than I expected to, that corner. That was kind of an unorthodox corner, I think. I thought he was going straight off the track, but he's right there with Charles. And we got to take a look at B-Tom here going for that fastest lap. I think he's going to get it, because we saw before, he is like a minuscule way from getting it. But this is what we're looking at, though. This battle for P2 on track. Or really, it's a 4-way race with J&B back in the midst of things. Capitan's going to be patient, stay back for the time being. B-Tom looking for fastest lap, and he is 1 lap away from his 7th championship in TCR. To the line. B-Tom, did he not get it? Oh, that's crazy. He didn't get the fastest lap. Oh, and an issue for Capitan. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's a shame. He was right in the midst of things. Down into P5. But this battle for P2, though, still happening between these guys. And if one of them has an issue, this could bring Capitan right back in the battle. And we'll have to see if he can get up there. J&B is right there. Behind Charles, behind Lion. McLaren looking for their 2nd straight 1-2 finish. And Lion, I'm sure he might be scratching his head. A few laps ago, he was not even in the battle for the podium, and he's going to get P2 as of now. And we'll see if he can do it. But he's got a few corners to go, and he's got Charles on his rear wing. Not the best corner, though. J&B might take advantage of this. He's got DRS. Let's see if I think he's going to have to wait. But our attention is at the front. B-Tom, what a season he has had. And he is going to win his 7th championship in style as he wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. B-Tom, oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Here comes Lion to the finish line. And GTR Lion steals the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Have you ever seen anything like that before? I don't even know what to say. GTR Lion has won his first race in the top tier of TCR. I'm baffled. I knew that B-Tom was going to do some celebration coming to the line. He had talked about it before, but... Oh, B-Tom, you can't do that. You can't do that. Oh my... That's quite a way for Lion to get his first win in the top tier TCR. Not his first win in TCR by any means. A former Golden Class champion, it's been a couple seasons since his last win, but GTR Lion, top step of the podium. Doesn't matter how you do it. And he moves his way up in a tie for 7th all-time on the TCR wins list. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got the results. I know what they are, but... That is just... Oh my God. All right, well, we're going to get in for a podium interview here. That has been the Saudi Arabian... Oh, there we go. Okay, good. We got it. All right. Oh, for a split second. All right, that's fine. I'll get a screenshot of that for the results. Man, I don't know how to feel about that. That is just... Oh, man. I don't even know. I'm assuming he clinched the championship. We'll have to go and look. I got to go and do some calculations here on if he even clinched the championship. That is just unbelievable. JMB gets 12 points. B-Tom does get points. So yes, B-Tom is the champion. We're going to get him in for an interview because of that. But luckily, though, we do have a season finale in the future to go and... That's unbelievable, though. I've been in TCR a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And we're going to get... I don't even know who do we have on the podium. We got Lion, Charles, and Capitan. And they're going to join us here for an interview. That is just crazy. So, just to recap, Lion wins the race, Charles second, and Capitan third. That ended up being the podium. JMB fourth, and Rebel fifth. B-Tom, like I said, he does get points. He got to the 90% range. But we're going to kick things off right now. I want to get these emotions pure and raw. Lion, top step of the podium. You end up getting the win in just bizarre, unbelievable circumstances. You were fourth with a few laps to go, and you end up getting the win. What's the emotions right now?
Oh my gosh, I don't know what to say, man. I need somebody to pinch me. I don't know how this race ended up this way. I mean, it was fun, I would say. I guess the rain part wasn't so fun. It's just like the grip was weird and all that part. But I'm kind of a little bit in disbelief. I'm not sure what happened to B-Tom. But a win, I'll take it. Close battles with Capitan and St. Charles as wonderful battle. So can't complain. I mean, good race. I don't know. After I would say Arabian was caught snapping on the safety car restart, and I was very, very pissed on how bad I was down. Because he was still warming up his tires and the field was gone. So I was pushing like a mad monkey. It's just, I wanted to catch those two guys, and I don't know how I did it, but I guess I caught up, and I'm glad I did, because it was fun last few laps.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes driving pissed off is the best thing for you, because I've been there. There's been scenarios where, you know, I think we all get in those scenarios, right, where something happens, we get pissed off. But I've noticed that I drive pretty well when I'm pissed off, and I don't know about you, Lion, though. You don't seem the type that would get too mad behind the wheel that often.
No, I wasn't mad. I was
just annoyed, maybe.
Just I guess not happy, because, you know, I was like almost 3 seconds down on the restart, and I can't overtake him per the rules until we reach the start-finish line. And he wasn't pushing because he wanted to let me go, but I am like, okay, I'm just going to go. So I went.
Right.
But it's, you know, it made it that's kind of the frustrating part is I wanted him to go, but he was trying to let me go, but I can't overtake him. So it's kind of that whole shebang was just a little bit frustrating. I'm sure, I mean, nothing intentional. He's just trying to warm up his tires. He's on the hards. So, anyways, it was a fun race, fun battle with a group, and, you know, if you ask me if I was expecting a win, I would say no, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to take them how you get them, right? That's just, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all for the podium finishers too, Sir Charles and Capitan. Great drive and good battle since that point. So It was a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Lion, this is well deserved. I think this has been in the works for a little while now, and I think you can probably agree, like, but hey, you got it. You got that win, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, let's head over to the Mercedes. Sir Charles on the podium once again this week, a third podium in a row, and you had a shot at the win there at the end. You were close to Lion after VTOM. By the way, I just want to clear up for everybody. And this is all lighthearted at the end of the day. I was talking with VTOM beforehand, and he said if he were in a scenario that he was in, that he would do like a donut at the finish line. So that's basically what he tried to do, and it didn't work. But what that did, though, is that put you, Charles, in the fight for the win, and you end up finishing second. So, yeah, what's your thoughts about all this?
I don't know. It's just kind of another opportunity that slipped through my fingers, I guess. I mean, it's kind of the story of the season, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it. I mean, GG to, I guess, El Capitan and GTR for a good race there. Shout out to J&B for letting us race, too. We could have easily gotten involved in that. And, it's always nice when people who have, time penalties are a bit self-aware and don't race like their life's dependent on it. So I do appreciate that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. I don't really know what to say, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. No, I totally get it, because, like, you were in a hard battle there for what it was looking like to be P2 at the time, with you, Capitan, and then Lion got into play there. Was there anything that you think you should have done differently, just looking back on it?
I mean, maybe dumped what little battery I had and got in front of them onto the turn. I figured if I could be somewhat beside him, I could just get past them with the little battery I had left. But I guess hindsight should have gone to the inside. Same thing that bit me at Bahrain. I don't know. Maybe I should have used my little bit of battery and just tried to get in front of him, and then hopefully I held on to the line. But I don't know. I guess he had a little bit of battery saved up too. So, yeah, I don't really know. I may have to look back at it, but again, it's just kind of. I don't think VTOM sitting in the middle of the track had anything to do with it. Might have been a little bit closer, but I don't know. It is what it is.
So I was worried when I came to the line, or when you guys came to the line, because I saw that VTOM wasn't ghosted, and Lion, he just went to the left side, and he didn't miss VTOM by much, and I just thought, oh my gosh, if he clips VTOM right here, oh my gosh. And luckily you guys didn't hit him. You all made it through, but I don't know what it is about the end of these races here in Saudi Arabia in this league. They just always, something crazy always tends to happen.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this one's a little less crazy than most of them, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a weird race. I mean, all the way from the rain too. I mean, it's probably a third of Saudi's annual rainfall there in the first half of that race, but I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, hey man, podium finish regardless. Good for the points, and honestly, I think if you keep doing this, you're gonna get it on the top step of the podium, and even if it doesn't happen, like third in points is definitely up for grabs, and you've been doing a good job. So congratulations.
Thanks.
And final step of the podium, Capitan. Wow. So you were going to be on the podium, and then I didn't quite catch your mistake or whatever happened, but there was something that happened in the final corner on the second to last lap, and it looked like you weren't going to get a podium, and then you wound up on the podium. So, yeah, what's going through your mind right now?
What's up, Kevin?
What's up?
So, going into the end of lap 24, starting lap 25, I had a big, I lost the rear pretty good. I almost went into the barrier. Luckily, I was able to save it. Thought I had given up the podium, which was an awesome battle with GTR and Sir Charles for sure. Pretty much the whole race. Rebellion was in there for a while. I almost broke the DRS there. Maybe, I don't know, lap 20, 21. Almost broke the DRS, and then made a little mistake. Charles caught me right up. These two were leapfrogging each other, I'm sure, behind me, and just ate me up. And then, but I mean, excellent racing with the guys as always. Stoked to get a podium. JMB had that 3 second. So didn't really think he was going to be a factor because I knew all of our pace was pretty similar. Yeah, man, stoked to grab a podium. Obviously wish it could have been more, but, great race today. Get some drink.
There you go. Yeah, what's on the menu for El Capitan after this?
Oh, do some work, man. So, nothing fun, This is pretty much the highlight of my Tuesdays, and I'll be on the computer here for a little bit afterwards doing work. But no, man, glad to be back in TCR though for this season. I know I jumped in kind of late, but absolutely love racing with you guys. Obviously, I dig racing with JMB, who's shown me a lot this year. B-Tom is absolutely one of the best consistent racers that I've come across in league. So seeing him compete at that level is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, well, we'd love to have you back. You were away for too long. We didn't see you for a while.
I know. We had to pack the gear up. We moved from up north in Illinois down to the Nashville area, so the gear was actually in storage for about a year.
Oh, wow.
So we finally broke it out and got some sweet setups at the new house, and yeah, we're back into it, man.
Yeah. Did I hear that? Because I remember you guys were moving at one point. Were you supposed to go to Florida at one point?
We were, but relocation and then relocation again, and here we are in Tennessee.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Glad to have you in the podium interview too. This is good to have you in here, and hopefully we'll have you in here before the season's over.
Absolutely, man. Well, we'll be pushing, so appreciate it, man.
Right on. Well, that was. I'm gonna have to go and watch that back afterwards because that was the craziest race of the season by far. We had weather, we had safety car, we had an unexpected finish at the end, just crazy stuff. So feel free to watch this back as well and give a thumbs up to the YouTube side of things. And we do have a couple of races left. This isn't the end of it. And B-Tom did clinch the championship, and we'll celebrate that the next broadcast. We'll forget about this, and we'll celebrate the next couple of races. And yeah, because that was just that I'm still not processing that. But you never know what's going to happen here in TCR, so you might as well tune in next week for a sprint race at Portugal. Same time, same place. But that has been all for tonight, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.